So I totally tried to make this video in the car, and it was an absolute failure. So I'm gonna put some clips in. So enjoy.
What's up? That went great. Yoo-hoo! That is an ugly angle. Oh, that's a cop. That is a cop. Oh my god, there's a train and it's so noisy. I can't with this right now. I'm just trying to rant.
What's up, my YouTube fitness friends? I have a video for you today about if it fits your macros, IIFYM, the who, what, when, where, why, and how to start. This is episode 1 of an entire series that I'm gonna do for you guys, and I'm gonna cover a bunch of different topics about if it fits your macros. So I have a lot of ideas, and we're going to start with the basics today. So first off, what is if it fits your macros? First of all, IIFYM is the abbreviation for if it fits your macros. All that means is you're tracking your macronutrients, and your macronutrients are your carbs, your proteins, and your fats. And you're also tracking fiber. The reason why you track fiber is obviously for regularity and everything like that. And the main concept behind if it fits your macros is you can eat whatever you want if it fits your macros. If you're hitting those numbers at the end of the day, then it doesn't matter if you're eating a Pop-Tart to get your carbs in or a sweet potato. So if it fits your macros is very different from the normal concept of health and fitness, because people assume, oh, if I want to get a good body or I want to have a good physique, I have to eat clean foods, quote unquote clean. If you ask anyone who says that they eat clean, what entails clean? Like what makes a food quote unquote clean? Most of the time they're not going to have a very definitive explanation for you. They might list out some foods. So the main concept behind if it fits your macros is that there is no good foods and there's no bad foods. There's no clean foods and there's no dirty foods. But that is what if it fits your macros is. So next up, who does if it fits your macros? Anyone who wants to reach a physique goal or just fuel their body and perform well in the gym. Typically people who are looking to reach a certain physique use if it fits your macros because it allows for you to curb your cravings. If you're really having one, you can fit in an Oreo, you can fit in a slice of pizza if you plan your day around that. It's really, really good for people who have a bad relationship with food. And I'm gonna get into this later as well, but if you have a history of yo-yo dieting, labeling foods as good or bad, and feeling extremely guilty after eating those bad foods, then if it fits your macros is a really good way to step out of that comfort zone and teach yourself about moderation and balance. So that's who does if it fits your macros and who it's good for and who I recommend it to. So when will you do if it fits your macros? You will do it when you're prepping for a physique show, or you're in an off season and you're trying to control your physique, your growth, so you don't put on a lot of fat gain. And most people will use if it fits your macros just to live a healthy and balanced lifestyle and to learn more about nutrition and to learn more about your body. If you have a history with eating disorders or disordered behavior, so anorexia, bulimia, binge eating, and you feel extremely guilty or extremely obsessed with a number on the scale, it's not good to jump from one obsession to the next. So just a forewarning, just make sure your relationship with food is okay and you are mentally ready to track numbers and not obsess over it, because the whole concept of if it fits your macros is flexibility and incorporating life. And so if you start tracking macros and you have no flexibility, then you're being a little bit of a hypocrite. That was when you track your macros, and now where do you track your macros? The purpose of If It Fits Your Macros is that it incorporates life, and I've said that a billion times, but that's the beauty of it, and it works everywhere. So if you're eating out at Chipotle, or if you are going out to a nice restaurant, or you're going to a friend's house for dinner and you have no idea what they're gonna cook, it still works. You can make it work, you can make it fit. That involves planning ahead, obviously, but you can make it work anywhere. If you're just trying to live a healthy lifestyle, there is no need for you to be dragging around 3 gallons of water and a 6-pack bag full of chicken and broccoli and sriracha. And if you're a bodybuilder, like, you understand that that's something you have to do, but it's not necessary. So it works everywhere. And I'll explain why when we go into the how, but that was where, and now why. Do you do If It Fits Your Macros? Why do you do it over clean eating? If I could describe why If It Fits Your Macros is, in my opinion, the superior way of reaching your goals, it's gotta be mental sanity. So everything I've covered already, like not having to bring around meals with you, being able to eat out, being able to incorporate life. It's a diet without restriction. There's no clean foods, there's no restricted foods. If you want a donut, then make it work into your diet. It's okay. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to be like, oh, I have to go on the treadmill and run this donut off because I ate it. It fit my numbers. It's not going to inhibit my progress. You learn about balance that way, and you don't feel guilty. You learn what makes your body feel good, what makes your body feel crappy. You learn how your body works and responds to carbs versus fats and how much protein you need. And it's much more of a learning experience than it is a meal plan, because if someone just hands you a cookie cutter diet plan and they say, like, eat 4 ounces of chicken and rice like 6 times a day, what are you learning from that? You're just learning that, oh, like, if I want to get lean and fit, then that's what I have to do. And it puts a misconception in people's minds. So that is why. Let's get into the how. How do you track macros? The first thing that you should do, number 1, is download MyFitnessPal. So that is an app on your phone. It's also a website. I think the app is a lot more convenient, and that way you can bring it with you. So you download it, you set it up, it'll guide you, it'll ask you for your height, weight, age, whatever, and set it up as it guides you. Second, number 2, you are going to go to a macro calculator website or hire a coach. So I'm gonna explain the difference between the two. So with a macro calculator website, it's very objective. It doesn't look at you and your history of training or dieting. It just takes your height, weight, age, activity level, and boom, puts it in a calculator, and it's an objective measure of what your maintenance calories should be. Your maintenance calories, in other words, your TDEE, so total daily energy expenditure. Good macro calculators will give you your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, which is if you laid down and did nothing all day, that's how many calories you would burn. But your TDEE is with your workouts. Let's say you said on the calculator you work out an average of 3 times a week, like with moderate intensity, it would calculate that out for you and spread out that added activity throughout your week and give you one number that if you hit it every day, you would maintain your weight with those calories. What you do from there, so number 3, setting your ratios. So you have to set your fats and your carbs and your protein. So always start with protein. Your protein is going to be around 1 gram per pound of body weight, 0.8 grams per pound of body weight to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. It just depends on your preference. So like if getting protein is really hard for you in your diet, then start a little bit lower and then see if you can raise it to 1 gram per pound. And then if you want to go that better safe than sorry approach, then you can go a little bit over. There's no harm done there. Then for fats, you want your fats to be 20 to 35% of your total calories. So just multiply by 0.20 or 0.35 or 0.3, whatever you want to do. The reason why this is a required range is because you need fats in order to regulate your hormones, and a lot of health problems can stem from having too low fats. And so fats aren't bad to have in your diet, and there's been a lot of studies that higher fat diets with like moderate to lower carb is actually more beneficial for your health and your hormones and your bodily functions than a higher carb, low fat diet would be. Just some studies have been emphasizing healthy fats as being much more beneficial than people have been realizing recently. So your fat is 20 to 35%. And lastly, your carbs. Take the rest of the calories. So carbs are 4 calories per gram, and protein is 4 calories per gram as well. Fat is 9 calories per gram. So fat, your grams are going to be lower because it's a more dense molecule. Multiply your protein out into calories. So you multiply fat by 9, take your protein and your fat, add it together, and then subtract that number from your TDEE, and the remaining calories you divide by 4, and those are the grams of carbs that you have left. The thing with this macro calculator technique is that it's very adjustable. It's not tailored specifically to you by someone who has experience with coaching macros, for example. So if it's not working the way that you want it to be working after you are consistent with it, keep in mind you cannot change anything unless you've been consistent and know that something is or is not working. You can't know if something's working if you are going 50 grams over your carbs every single day or under your carbs every single day, and you're like, coach, like this isn't working, these macros suck for me. Like, no, like 50 grams over carbs sucks for you. Like, if you hit your macros consistently for 2 weeks and then see the results you don't want to see, then change something. So make small changes. That's the next step, is after you've been consistent and see results that you don't want to see, then you make small changes. Or if nothing happens, then and you want to gain or lose weight, then that's when you change. So small changes like 10, 20 grams of carbs at a time, 5 to 10 grams of fat at a time. Protein always remains constant at your body weight. And the reason for that is that there's only so much muscle protein synthesis that can happen in your body in 24 hours. And all muscle protein synthesis is your muscles repairing themselves and becoming stronger. So when you work out, you rip them, they repair. That's what MPS is. So protein remains constant. You can play around with your fats and your carbs and see where you want them to be. That is the macro calculator option, but having a coach determine your macros for you is much more personalized, because a coach is looking from a third person's perspective, and a coach has experience and applying their previous knowledge to you. So if you're a beginner, I highly recommend hiring someone to do that for you. Even if it's like a one-time consult, it's much more beneficial than just using an online calculator. Shameless plug, MarissaRoyFitness.com. I am a coach, and I will help you determine your macros and help guide you through your journey. And one more thing about MyFitnessPal. And so here's the thing about MyFitnessPal. When you set it up, it's gonna give you a calorie goal. And if you are tracking macros, that calorie goal doesn't pertain to you. So if you have a set number of macros, yes, you will be hitting around the same calorie range every single day, but you're not focused on calories. So my advice to you is disregard that. There's a way to make your calorie goal 0, just so you just see how much you've eaten for that day. I highly recommend doing that, because then there's no other number from a site that's messing with your head. So how you do that is you go into settings and then into calorie and macronutrient goals, and then type in 0, press the check, and it should reset to 0. The catch with that is if you log your weight every day on MyFitnessPal, because it has that option for you, it will reset your calorie goal depending on your weight. If you want to avoid having to reset your calorie goal to 0 every single day, then I just wouldn't log your weight. on MyFitnessPal. It is a good idea to take progress pictures right when you start tracking macros, because if you're consistent, it's amazing how many changes you can make just by being consistent with your diet. So that was the who, what, when, where, why, and how of If It Fits Your Macros. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment below what kind of If It Fits Your Macros help videos you'd like to see. So today was getting set up. What is it? Why do you use it? And I'd love your ideas and your questions about it. So please like and subscribe if you like the video. There's lots more to come. And go to my website, marissaroyfitness.com, to get coaching and training programs and diet plans for If It Fits Your Macros. And that is all that I have for you guys today. So have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.